So you guys that are watching from Florida, guess what? I'm making key lime pie. And according to the cooking history, that's in the Florida Keys, you know, you guys have that little lime, just like the ones that we have here in Jamaica. And that's where that dessert was invented. So I'm going to be doing key lime pie for dessert. So we're gonna get started in 3, 2, 1. So welcome again to my kitchen. I am your diva chef, Che Walker-Barrett, and today, but before I go any further, let me show you how I'm going to be making this key lime pie. So because my kitchen is so hot, I went ahead and I made my little tart shell. I made a sweet dough. I will post the recipe for the sweet dough eventually on my YouTube channel, Next in Food, for you to see. But basically what it is half fat to flour. So I use half pound of butter. I use half pound of, I use 4 ounces of butter and half pound of flour. I use some sugar to sweeten it up, and I use 2 egg yolks in there. Make it into a dough, chill it, and then roll it out and then shape it into my pie shells. So I'm going to pre-bake these shells, and there's a little term that we use in the bake shop to bake it blind, and that means to bake a pastry without its filling. So I'm going to put these in the oven for 10 minutes and let them pre-bake, and then while that is happening, I'll be making the key lime filling. Pastry is in the oven, and we have the oven set for 10 minutes. So as usual, I'm going to be starting with dessert first. But before I get to the dessert filling, I want to go ahead and get the marinade on the beef for our entree. Tonight's marinade is Chinese style. So this is beef tenderloin. This cut is just this beautiful muscle that comes out of the beef. It's usually under the rib, and it is very, very, very tender. So to marinate this, I'm going to add an egg. Try not to get the shell in there. So I'm going to be adding an egg and of course some cornstarch. And I'm going to get my hand in there and just kind of mix everything up. Now the egg just gives the marinade a vibe. There's a chemical reaction that goes on. I really can't explain it, but it really just lifts everything up. So you could use a whole egg like I did, or you could just use the white, or you could just whisk the egg and use half of an egg. This beef doesn't need a lot of marination because it is very, very tender. In this container, I have a little bit of Chinese cooking wine. If you can't find that, you can use some sherry. And so this is our beef, and it is ready to go. And I'm going to go right ahead now and show you how that is done. First, I'm going to zest some lime. I have 5 egg yolks into this container. Now, limes are everywhere in the market, on the road, at the stoplight. It's lime season in Jamaica, and just like everything else, I am always inspired by what is in season. So I saw a whole lot of limes, so I said, you know what, I have not made or ate key lime pie in a long time. So I have 5 egg yolks, and I'm just going to whisk the egg yolks. I zest 1 lime in there. Now the zest of a lime is really the peel. It has all the essential oil, and it has a flavorful aroma. I like to use salt in my dessert, so I'm just adding in a pinch of salt, and you just whisk and whisk and whisk. All right, so this is our egg, and then to that, the key lime pie is very, very, very simple to make. You need 1 can of condensed milk, and all of that goes in. So we're just gonna put 1 can of condensed milk. See that? Scrape it all in there. So this is a very easy dessert for you to attempt. I love custard type desserts that are easy to bake and easy to make, so we mix that in. And now, to cut through all of that sweetness, I'm going to be adding 1/2 cup of freshly squeezed lime juice. So lime juice goes in, and this is all there is to the key lime pie. It should not be green in color because, of course, lime juice is not green. So it has this, basically the color of the condensed milk.
Okay, this dessert isn't for Weight Watchers, love.
Well, we're making them individual and they're tiny, so don't feel too bad. I'm actually going to zest another lime in there. Yes, condensed milk is all over the world, you know, from Asia to South America to, so the brand might be that, but there are many condensed milk. It's very easy to find every single place in America. If go to the Mexican stores, you find it. Go to the supermarkets, you find it. It's very easy. Condensed milk is made by cooking whole milk and sugar together until it is thickened. That's all condensed milk is. Some company puts some starch in it, some cornstarch, but it's very easy to make condensed milk. You can even make it at home. So this is our filling for our pie, and we're just waiting until our pie shell is baked off. While we wait, I'm gonna go back.
Black Rose, not where I live. Big Mac, no me use too much Betty milk.
Oh, it's just the brand. I think they're all the same. Some of them just have maybe a little bit higher percentage of whole milk than some. So I'm adding a little bit more cornstarch onto my marinade.
Rosalie Chambers, good evening.
Hi, Miss Rosalie. Thank you for tuning in.
First Lady Jules, hello.
Hey, Jules. So guys, share the live. Let me know where you're watching from. Very, very, very important. So what the cornstarch does, it thickens up the juices of the meat. So I'm putting it directly on the meat. When it goes into the hot oil, you know, sometimes you put meat in hot oil and you see the juice running out. Once you put the cornstarch on it, it will stay put. So because we're waiting on our pie shell to bake, I'm just going to start. I am going to start our other dish. Okay, you just bring up my stove. I'm going to be making fried rice. So guys, let me just bring out the wok.
Big Mac, chef, I'm flying down for my plate. Nuts.
I have enough. I have enough.
Nuts, would cornstarch change the taste of the beef?
No, cornstarch has no flavor. It is a thickener that does not take away from the natural flavor of the food that you use it to thicken. So there's no need to worry when you're using cornstarch. It is easy to use, very cheap, easy to find. All right? So let me just kind of clear away my clutter, and I'm going to just check on our dessert before I start making our fried rice. So the wok is heating up, and a pan that you're looking at, guys, is called a wok. All right, see what it is? It's a Chinese cooking vessel. It's very, very easy to use. It heats up very easily. So for our fried rice, we have quite a bit of stuff that we want to use in our fried rice. That's going to add some flavor. So let's go through and look. So we have some scallions. Ashelia, come with me with the camera. Can you see? We have scallions, mixed vegetables, sausage, chicken, scotch bonnet, ginger, sesame oil, oyster sauce, dark soy, light soy, egg whites. Now I'm only using egg whites just because I use the yolks for dessert. So let's make some fried rice. So Ashelia, in the pot. You zoom into the pot.
Nishika, Diva Princess. Hey, Auntie, love your twist.
Thank you for watching. Hey. So first thing, when you're making fried rice, you want to cook the ingredients one at a time. So I want to put some oil in my wok. So you need rice that is cooked and cool. So my rice is already cooked. This is sausage. I'm going to put my sausage in. And this sausage is just some jerk sausage that I pick up in the supermarket. So this is going to add some flavor.
Nuts, why so many sauces?
Why so many sauces? Okay, all of them work together for the finished product. So that is Chinese cooking. Chinese cooking has 99% prep. It has a lot of what we call condiment, what you call sauces. And then it has the trinity, which is ginger, garlic, and scallion. And so it gives the finished dish a lovely, lovely taste. So we're gonna fry the sausage. Fry and fry. We are using jerk sausage. Jerk sausage is spicy. If you don't like spicy sausage, or if you don't like meat, you can always just make a vegetable fried rice. So there's no problem. You can take the meat out and go ahead and make a vegetable fried rice. So I am going to take all of this sausage out because it's ready. This sausage is a sausage that is pre-cooked, so it doesn't need a long time in the pot. And for my wok, I like to use plastic or woolen utensils. All right, let's just get everything out. Now we're gonna add another ingredient. We're going to add some chicken. Okay. Jacoby loves fried rice, and he has been asking me for a while, Mommy, could you make some fried rice? I'm finally making some fried rice. So just move, once you're cooking in a wok, you move the food around and it cooks faster that way. Just keep moving it around because the hot spots of the wok is actually on the side. So you want to get the food touching the side, and that way it will cook much faster. You ever wonder why when you go to Chinese restaurant and order food, it comes to you very, very, very quickly. It's cooked to order. And so because everything is cut so small and then the type of pot they're cooking in, it allows for very, very fast cooking. So you see that our chicken is already cooked. So that's gonna come out and go into a container.
Noel Cunningham, hey sis.
Hey Noel, thanks for joining. All right guys, so again, I want you to share the live, and then now we're going to fry our egg whites. And remember, I'm only using egg whites because I use the yolks into the dessert. All right, so I'm just gonna scramble my egg whites, and I like to cook the eggs and then remove it, and then actually clean the wok and then start frying the rice. So
Renee Levy, hi chef.
Hey Renee Levy, welcome, welcome.
What did you add to the egg white? Salt?
I added salt and I added some scallion to the egg whites. All right, so these egg whites are gonna come out of the pot. Put them in a container. Remind me that I'm baking pastry.
Jamaican Eat
oven.
Magazine says woohoo.
Yep. And I saw Chef Noel's on the cover. His lovely plantain. Beautiful stuff. So guys, I'm just cleaning the wok. To get everything going again. This is a step that I choose to do. All right, so I clean it as best as I can. I'm gonna put it back and then continue the cooking. So while our wok is getting hot, our pastry shells are finally ready. So I'm gonna just show you guys the dessert, how to put the dessert together. So our pastry shells, they're ready. This is what they look like. Can you guys see? Just kind of come over so that they can see. So our pastry, they're partially baked, and guess what? I forget to deck them so that they don't rise up, but that happens sometime. So here we have our filling. For easy pour, I'm gonna pour it back into my measuring cup. So just get some. This is our key lime pie. Very, very easy to make. And then we're gonna fill our pie shell. Put these back in, and these are gonna bake for 15 minutes. Just be careful. Key lime pie is a wonderful summer dessert. It has a crunchy base and it has a nice lime taste with that condensed milk. It's just amazing. You can serve it with whipped cream, and that's what we're going to be serving it with. But the only setback with the key lime pie, you have to chill it after you bake it so that it can fully set. So I will post a picture of the finished key lime pie for tomorrow, and this is what it looks like. So this is going to go into the oven for 15 minutes. All right. Our wok is back on for fried rice. Just gonna wipe it out so that it can dry quickly. While I do that, I'm gonna clean up from my dessert and get the container off to the side. So our wok is getting nice and hot again. Just make sure that it is clean enough. Then I'm gonna add some oil. And this is a very neutral oil I'm adding. And so now we're going to start frying the rice. This is jasmine rice. I cook this rice ahead of time. My family likes a little crunchy bottom onto the rice, so I like to kind of put it into the pot and let it get some crunch on it, and then I stir it around. So this was 2 cups of jasmine rice, and just like my basmati rice, I like to soak the jasmine rice before I boil it. So I soaked 2 cups, soaked it for about an hour, and then I boil it. It's always good to cook jasmine rice according to the package instruction. Rice is very, very starchy, so it's not a lot of oil. And my gas on my tabletop stove is finished on this. I'm gonna change it real quick.
Bake heaven. Why did you soak the rice before cooking it?
Because it helps to take some of the starch out. So soaking the rice for me, it takes some of the starch. You know, when you make rice, when you're washing rice, you see the water run white. That is just the starch in there. And so when I soak it, I find that I get a lot of it out. So I have fire again, and we're back. So I want the rice to crisp up. This is my way of doing it because my family likes the crunchy parts of the rice. So I do it this way for them. And you can use as much fat that you like. Rice is starchy, and so I'm using a very good neutral peanut oil here. Nut oils are great. They add flavor and they add contrast. So just start moving it, and if your stove is on, you can hear it popping. So you want to start frying the rice so that it heats through and develop some texture at the bottom. Okay, I have my mixed veg. This is store-bought mixed vegetables, easy to find. I'm gonna mix these in, and I like to use the 2 spatula method, just kind of get everything mixed in like that.
CRC, at age 36, I watched your fried dumpling video Friday morning and finally got it right.
Oh, I'm so happy. All right, so now that that is happening, we want to add some goodness. Now I like to add a little bit of ginger to my fried rice, some Scotch bonnet pepper. We love everything spicy in this house, so we're adding that. More oil, sesame oil, which is a nut oil. We like to add oyster sauce, and this is the vegetarian oyster sauce. So there are no oysters in it, it's just a nice flavored sauce. I have dark soy, we're adding some of that. Light soy sauce, we're also adding some of that. And then give it a mix. Now we don't want the rice, we don't like it too brown. So if you like it very brown, you can add more soy sauce. Oh, and my tip for fried rice, when you're making the fried rice, do not make it with any salt when you're boiling the rice, because the condiments that we're adding to the rice is very, very salty. The soy sauce is salty, the sausage is salty, so you don't want to add salt in the rice when you're boiling it. And now we're going to add back the sausage that we made earlier.
Leon, good idea, I'll start soaking my rice too.
We're adding our chicken, and we're adding our fried egg, white, back. And then you want to add your scallion last, and I love to add lots and lots of scallion because it gives it a big burst of flavor. And this is our fried rice. It's very simple. So the hardest part when you're making Chinese inspired food is the prepping. You have to prep a lot of stuff to get that flavor going. But after the prep, oh, everything is easy. So I'm just gonna let it hang out for another 2 minutes to get some crunchy going on at the bottom. Remember, I tell you that my family just can't get enough of the crunch at the bottom. So I have to make it right. So while that is happening, I'm gonna just clean up, have everything clean, and get some of this out the way. Oops, and I throw away my sesame oil again. These little prep containers can just be a bother sometimes.
Son, I have plans to come out in. I hope it would be worth the journey from Clarendon.
Well, girl, you're going to have to be the judge of that, but I'm sure our product is food, and so you see what the menu is, and we try to make the food delicious at all times because that's the only thing we have to sell. So come with an open mind and you'll be fine. So you see that? You have to move it around. When you move it around, you can see the steam. You can tell that it is heating up.
Patricia Brown, good evening, family.
Good evening, my sis. Welcome. Fried rice is almost ready. Almost ready. And I'm checking on our dessert. I set the timer so it will tell me when everything is ready. Alright. Fried rice is going to come off, and then we're going to do our beef. Fried rice is done, so off it goes. And we're going to be doing our stir-fried beef into our skillet. So for those who are just joining, our dinner is inspired tonight by Chinese cooking. Our favorite takeout Chinese food, and that is fried rice is one, and beef and mushroom is another. So what I'm doing over here, I'm just plating up our fried rice. See that?
Patricia Brown, the fried rice looking delicious.
And I love the fried rice. It's kind of like a one pot. It has everything in there. It has meat, it has starch, and this one has more than one meat or protein. This one has eggs and chicken and sausage. If you don't like none of those, you could just do vegetables. That's great. Just the mixed vegetables. You could do an egg fried rice. You could do vegetables. The fried rice could be white if you don't want any color on it. If you don't want such a dark color, you could use light soy. And this is what the fried rice looks like. Isn't that pretty? All right. So we're going to take that and put it to the side, and we're going to start making our other dish. So in this pot, I'm going to be doing our beef stir fry. Instagram people, can you see? For your stir fry, you want to make sure that the pot is piping hot before you put the meat in, because meat is cold and you want everything to be hot.
First Lady,
some oil in here.
First Lady Jules, have you considered going live on YouTube also?
Not yet, just Instagram for now. Can you go live on YouTube? I didn't even know that.
Yes, you did. I did say it.
Okay, so our oven timer went off for dessert. I'm just gonna check it. And guess what? It is ready. So I'm going to take it out.
Rain for drains, amount of water.
And feel free to share the live. These are our dessert. Facebook. So I'm going to put these off to the side for them to cool. You see how fast that was? 15 minutes and the dessert is done. So our pot is smoking, and this is telling me that it is ready for the beef. So the beef was marinated in cornstarch and egg. I don't put any salt on the beef either, because all the condiments that we'll be using is salty, so that's another little tip. You don't want to put salt in the rice when you're boiling the rice or on the meat, because all the condiments that you'll be adding to the meat is salty. So just like the rice, I'm going to let the beef
Says roll.
just let the beef hang out. Again, this is a tender cut of beef. This is beef tenderloin. They have it in the supermarket as beef fillet. If you're using a tougher cut, let me tell you my little trick. When you're marinating tough cuts of beef, just put about a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and put some acid in it from wine, like Chinese cooking wine is great for that, or sherry is great for that. So do not be tempted to turn the beef just yet. Just let it stay there and get some color. And in cooking, that color that meat gets, we refer to it as the Maillard reaction, where the protein caramelized, and that's going to give your meat a nice flavor. So we just kind of shake it. Now I'm going to see if we're getting any color, and we are. You see that? That's what we want to see. A little brown color. Are we seeing that on Instagram? Okay. So So I'm gonna start turning it over. When you're doing a stir fry, this could have been done in a wok, but because I use the wok to do the rice, I'm using a nice big skillet, and you want to spread the meat out so that they can brown evenly.
First, the juice is nice here.
And get some flavor. See that? Nice flavor. And if your pot is heating up unevenly like mine, you just turn it around. Beef is very lean. So for those who are watching their fat intake, you could use beef. If you don't like beef, you could do the same thing with chicken or shrimp or pork tenderloin, or you could just do a vegetable stir fry. So we're just going to let those hang out in there, and we're going to take it out in a few minutes. Right, so we have to be cleaning the lens of the camera because we're having a little splatter because we're stir frying and the beef is, the oil is going and going. So I'm going to remove the beef, put it into my holding container. Right. Then I'm going to add a little bit more oil in the pot. It's good to have a squeeze bottle with some oil. And the first thing I'm going to be adding in is my mushroom. I love mushroom. It has a nice umami taste. These are regular button mushrooms, but there are a variety of mushrooms, and in the supermarket, depending on where you live, in Jamaica you see mushroom a lot these days, which is good. Then I'm adding in bell peppers. Now the thing about stir fry is timing is everything. You don't want to fully cook any one ingredient because you want your vegetables to still be nice and crunchy. I'm adding in now some sliced ginger and some garlic. Now in Chinese cooking, ginger, garlic and scallion is the base of all the flavors that we get at the end. And then condiments. Condiments are like soy sauce, sesame oil that we'll be using, oyster sauce, and black bean sauce. Those are the condiments I'll be using this evening. I'm using red onion. So in my head, I have a rhythm, you know. So I'm just following the rhythm. I know how long I want to cook it for. I'm not assuming that it is not cooked, because if I should put my hand in there for 5 seconds, it will burn it off, and my hands are flesh. So it means that it is cooking the vegetables just as fast as it would burn me. Then I'm going to add in some scotch bonnet. So you're layering the flavors. Well, that wasn't scotch bonnet, that's my West Indian red chili pepper. I'm adding in some green beans. These green beans were boiled. And then at this time, I'm going to add some condiments in. So I'm going to start with black bean paste. Add that in. Adding in a little bit of sugar, some light soy, some Chinese cooking wine, some sesame oil, and then give it a mix. And that little bit of black bean paste that you see me put in, that is going to just really add a burst of flavor. So next time you go into the supermarket, walk down the condiment aisle, especially in the Chinese section, and just buy some condiments. They're fermented and delicious. I'm going to add back our beef. And then to that, I want to add some oyster sauce again. And I'm adding in a little bit of dark soy. And we're going to combine everything together. See what happens. So this is our stir-fry beef with green beans, peppers, black bean. And of course I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna taste. Needs a little bit more sugar. And then finally, add some scallions in. Always want to add the scallion last.
First lady Jules love the color contrast.
And every color adds to the flavor. And that is our beef stir fry. It's ready. So now it's time to serve it. And we're going to serve this on a platter. Just trying to tack it on.
Miss Kim's, that looks lovely, chef.
And I didn't want any sauce in this, so there's a term that we refer to as dry stir fry because we're eating it with fried rice, and fried rice is already very flavorful, so I don't need any gravy. But if I was having it with white rice, I would have added gravy, water in there to make gravy.
Mark Stewart, Wendy watching from Spanish Town.
Hi Wendy, thanks for watching. We want to say hello to Spanish Town. And guys, I think dinner is ready. And so the purpose of these live cooking is just to show you that you can eat at home however you feel like. It's very, very simple to cook from different cultures and different country. You just need to try and understand the flavor profile.
Althea Reed, hey Simone, love the contrast.
Hey Althea, thank you so much for watching. So our key lime pie, it needs a little time to cool off, but I'm going to show you what the presentation will look like. So
Patricia
you guys
Brown,
feast your
yummy.
eyes. I'm trying to take the key lime pie out of the container.
Chang says it looks awesome.
Thank you.
Miss Kim's never had mushroom, not sure how it would taste.
Ah, it tastes delicious.
Shauna Purple says Gizam.
Mushroom is there's a taste that we refer to in culinary. It is called the fifth taste, and it is called umami. It's a Japanese word and it means delicious. So it is said that a Japanese scientist discovered umami, and that flavor comes from fermented food. It comes from cheese. It comes from seaweed. And so when he tasted that taste for the first time, you know, that was the word that came out of his mouth, umami. And umami means delicious.
Miss Kim's, but definitely we'll try it without the mushrooms.
The beauty about a stir fry, guys, you can put whatever vegetables you like into a stir fry. There are no rules. You know, you put whatever vegetables that are in season, vegetables that you love to eat, into your stir fry. So I'm going with the garnish for my pie. We're going to put a dollop of whipped cream onto the pie, and then a couple slices of lime, just to show that it is key lime pie. So I hope that you guys try this dessert and tell me what you think of our dessert. So I have my garnish here, and this is cream that has been whipped and sweetened. So you usually just serve it like that, some cream on top, and you put a lime on top. and the line kind of tells you what it is. But this is not a dessert that you can eat hot. You want to chill this dessert before you eat it. So tomorrow, after it is chilled, we are going to enjoy that dessert tomorrow, not today. So guys, again, I want to thank you so much for letting us into your home or wherever you are. And I really do hope that you enjoy this dinner. So we go from very difficult to simple to manageable. And so every Sunday, the dinner is inspired by a different culture. And so I do hope that you guys learn something. I hope you find this interesting. And we're going to have our dinner before it gets too cold. So thank you so much for watching. I am your diva chef, Che Walker-Barrett. And of course, we will post. And I'm sweating like crazy. So I'm going to sign off. And I'll see you next week, God's willing, with another Sunday dinner. And who knows what will inspire me and where I'll be cooking from. You take care.